Welcome to another episode of the Jampack Report, today for April the 9th of 2021. Of course, my name is Samuel Adams, and this is a daily gaming news podcast meant to bring you the hottest news you need to know from around the industry. Hosted on YouTube and podcast services around the world 5 days a week, it's your one-stop shop for everything you need to know. So if you enjoyed the show and you like what you see, hit that subscribe button and keep coming back for more. Unfortunately, we got some bad news yesterday. Deathloop has been delayed again. This is the second time the PlayStation 5 exclusive has been pushed back. It is now releasing on September the 14th of 2021. Arkane writes on the official Deathloop Twitter account, quote, "We have made the decision to delay the launch of Deathloop to September 14th, 2021. We are committed to quality and preserving our team's ambitions for Deathloop while ensuring the health and safety of everyone at Arkane. We'll be using this extra time to accomplish our goal, create a fun, stylish, and mind-bending player experience. We apologize for the extended wait and thank you all for your passion and excitement. It is the fuel that powers our creativity and our hard work. We can't wait to show you more Deathloop soon." From game director Dinga Babaka, art director Sebastian Mitten, and Arkane Lyon team. So there you have it, another big delay for 2021, and I say it every time a delay story pops up. Jason Schreier said months ago, we are going to be seeing a lot of delays in 2021, and as time goes on, that is becoming more and more apparent. This is something that should have been expected, and it's something that many people have been expecting, because the impact of COVID-19 on development cycles is just beginning to really reach its peak. You are now seeing what happens whenever you have a year of working from home. And for me personally, this is okay. As I always say, it's better to have a game that is delayed than a game that is released prematurely in a poor state. On top of that, I've been taking the past year or so to really dig into my backlog and to play the last 5 years of games that I might have missed, to return to some favorites. I'm getting ready to start playing Dead Space for the first time. I've never played the Dead Space franchise all the way through, and I want to dive back in on the Xbox Series X. This gives me the opportunity to do so. There is not by any means a shortage of games to enjoy. There is a shortage of new experiences, but even then, you still have plenty of games that come out from time to time. And on top of that, it's looking to be a very packed fall 2021 and, of course, 2022 as you see these releases really begin to roll out. Another question that many people had is, how does this impact the exclusivity deal that is behind the scenes? Because as we all know, Deathloop is a PlayStation 5 exclusive, but with Microsoft now having purchased Bethesda, it stands to reason that eventually Deathloop will probably go multi-platform after maybe a year or so of exclusivity. That's just something that a lot of people are assuming, including myself. So how does this push impact that release? That's a big question that many are wondering. Ultimately, what you need to know is that Deathloop is now coming out on September the 14th, 2021, rather than in May as it was originally intended to. And so this is something that is taking one of the biggest releases of the spring and summer and transforming it into one of the biggest releases of the fall, which is all well and good. But the PlayStation 5 catalog is absolutely going to miss Deathloop in a big way, because right now, there really isn't a reason to go out and buy a PlayStation 5 outside of those launch window games and Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. Some of the last generation games have gotten improvements. You see games like Ratchet & Clank from 2016 getting a lot of improvements. That frame rate has been bumped up, which is fantastic and a big benefit to that quality of life. But at the same time, I'm looking for these new experiences. Deathloop is a big next-gen FPS. That's something that gets people to go out and buy a console. And to see it not coming out until the fall is kind of a bummer, but that gives the production line time to catch up over a PlayStation. That gives people time to dig into their it'll be alright. It'll be okay. But again, Deathloop now launching September the 14th of 2021. In the meantime, you can check out Destroy All Humans, which comes to Switch on June 29th. This is the recent remake from Black Forest Games and published by THQ Nordic, and it's dropping on June 29th for $39.99. The Switch version also includes the skin pack, which brings a whole bunch of skins for the in-game appearance of your alien, and then you have Crypto 137 editions and DNA Collector's editions available as well. But the cult classic returns and invades everything but your privacy, terrorizes the people of 1950s Earth in the role of the evil alien Crypto-137, harvest DNA and bring down the US government in the remake of the legendary Alien Invasion action game, annihilate puny humans using an assortment of alien weaponry and psychic abilities, reduce their cities to rubble with your flying saucer. You'll love to see it. This is one of those cult classics that people absolutely fell in love with, and the remake has been very well received. It really does capture the magic of the original while also modernizing it for a new generation. Cool to see it coming to Switch, and again, if you do want to pick it up, it's coming out on June the 29th, and you can always find the entire rundown on that week's episode of The Drop, my weekly show that lets you know the hottest games coming out across every single platform, uploaded to the channel every Sunday. Be sure to subscribe for that. And finally, if you're looking for something to play this weekend, Borderlands 3 Director's Cut DLC is available now on PC and consoles. This includes a new raid, murder mystery missions, behind-the-scenes content, and vault cards that give you access to upcoming bundles of themed loot. When you play with a vault card active, you can work up to level up the card, and by completing daily and weekly challenges, you'll earn access to 100, or I suppose a ton. I misread here. I said 100 unique weapons. No, probably even more than that. But themed loot is coming your way. It's essentially a bounty, which is pretty cool to see added. But if you want to pick up the DLC, it's purchased separately for $14.99. You can get it from Green Man Gaming, which is running a 15% discount, bringing it down to $12.74. But it's also available on PS5, Xbox Series X, PS4, Xbox One, everywhere that Borderlands 3 is available. This is a game that, again, we've been talking about a lot recently since it was added to PlayStation Now earlier this week, but it wasn't quite as successful as Borderlands 2, still very successful in the grand scheme of things, and it's a solid looter shooter. The grind could use some work, but ultimately, if you're just looking for an FPS to kind of spend some time with, this is a solid option. But that rounds out today's episode of the Jampack Report. If you enjoyed today's show, drop me a like down below and let me know what you think about that Deathloop delay. Does that impact your perception of the PlayStation 5 lineup? Do you still plan on picking it up this fall? And ultimately, what are you playing right now? With so few games really coming out and breaking new ground, this is giving a lot of people time to catch up on their backlogs, so I'd love to hear what you've been spending your time with. But until Monday, you guys have a fantastic weekend. I'll talk to you soon, and peace.